Hey guys, Ken here. So it's no surprise that AI has completely flipped the self-publishing world upside down. I'm sure you're feeling it. And as someone who has made multiple six figures with self-publishing and have also coached hundreds of people at this point, I really just wanted to show you exactly what I'm doing to incorporate it into my business. And more importantly, what my exact strategy is moving forward to not only stand out in the market, but to capitalize on it. So let's waste no time. Let's dive into exactly how I'm incorporating it into my self-publishing business, as well as what my strategy is moving forward. So the big problem with Amazon KDP right now with the incorporation of AI is that everyone is racing to publish faster because they now have the ability to. And of course, speed without standards kills your reviews, it kills your conversions, and it kills long-term growth. And if you want consistent income, your books have to still feel human, they have to be helpful, and they have to feel premium. And so I'm essentially doing the opposite of what a lot of people are doing right now. I'm slowing down, I'm building better books than everybody else in a few different ways I'm going to show you. And I'm using AI to streamline everything without losing quality. And so to have a competitive edge in this landscape, you have to have very high standards and very effective workflows. And so my strategy going forward is I'm going to be focusing on books that are mainly fast and cheap to produce, things that don't require a ton of images. Although I do have books like that, and that is fine to publish in those areas, I just really want to see how fast and cheap it can be to create books that don't require these things and just go for these types of topics. I'm also going to be prioritizing the highest demand topics that I can find. The higher demand you have, it really makes everything easier. If there's more people buying books in your space, your ads will perform better, you'll get more organic sales as you start to rank high, and even if your book has less reviews than your competitors, if you focus on standing out in many different ways, your books can sell super well because you have enough traffic to do so and you have a standout product. And that leads us to the next point, which is I'm going to be focusing very heavy on my mechanism. So how does my book compare to my competitors? A big problem I see is that a lot of people will create a book for their topic. They'll create a really good book that's targeting their topic effectively, but they never actually stop to think, how does this compare to the other books in this space? If somebody is searching and buying a book, which one are they going to buy? If your book isn't the clear best option for them, they're just going to buy the one with the best reviews or the one that ranks highest. And so you really have to ask yourself, how is my book going to look among my competitors? Not just in terms of the cover design, but in terms of the actual offer. What's inside? How is it delivering the information? Is it just another generic title, or does it have some sort of unique mechanism that makes it way more desirable to the customer? Just because you can create things faster with AI doesn't mean you should. You should use it to, of course, streamline your processes and save money, but always slow down and actually read your book. Is this something that somebody wants to read? And when they do read it, is it going to solve their problem? Just a set of information isn't enough, especially in the world of AI. And in many cases, some customers will actually buy multiple books in their topic if, of course, one that they bought they didn't like because it was garbage. And we want to make sure when somebody does buy our book, they read it, they learn what they want to learn, they have a good experience. And over time, this allows for a lot of organic reviews. And so the rule is not to win on speed. It's to win by being the obvious best choice. And in a market filled with garbage, you'd be surprised how well this works. And so how I'm going to be finding topics this year is this is the one place that I still want a lot of human judgment. There's a few different ways I find topics. I will leave some relevant videos below in the description, but more importantly, I'm going to be using the BookBeam Niche Finder. This, in my opinion, is the most effective way to bypass the keyword research process. Essentially, it allows you to put in the parameters of a book that you're looking for, one that is new, maybe it's 3 months old, one that has lower reviews, one that has a low BSR rank, basically telling you it's selling well. And if we can pinpoint the books that have low reviews, they're brand new, and they're selling super well, it must mean that that topic has a lot of potential and is worth looking into. And something that I might do in the future is to build some custom agents that automate this process. They basically go through, do all the same clicks that you would do, find the right information, pull it from that page, put it in a spreadsheet, and give it a score based on what you want it to give it a score on. And there is a few students in my mentorship program who are doing this, and it can be very effective. It is more of an advanced tactic, but this is where I see the keyword research phase moving to. But as of right now, I'm just using the niche finder and my normal process. But the important thing is to keep topic selection strategic. Of course, we can create books faster now, so you can pick more topics to publish in. But I still think that AI can assist you, but you need to know if a keyword is good or not. So make sure you spend the time to actually learn what makes a good book topic, because it does make all the difference. And so when it comes to my book creation process, this is the main place that I'm going to be incorporating AI into my business. However, I'm very strategic with how I'm doing it. The first phase is, of course, the research phase. This is where you can build that unique mechanism and actually stand out in your topic. And so the goal is not just to deliver information and make a book for your topic, it's to teach and help somebody looking to solve a problem. And we want to build a structure that creates a clear outcome for the reader. It's telling them that I'm going to solve your problem in this way, and this way is better than my competitors. And so how I do this with AI is it's very simple. I'm going to go and find the best-selling books in my space, mainly the ones that rank the highest and have lower reviews, anywhere from 3 to 5 of these. The reason being is because if they're newer, if they have lower reviews and they're selling well, it must mean the book itself is selling and not just its review count. And I'm basically going to grab a bunch of information from them and put it in a document. This is going to be their book descriptions, their table of contents from the look inside feature on their product page, their positive reviews, some negative reviews, as well as even some screenshots of their A+ content. I'm then going to get AI, most likely ChatGPT, to basically analyze all this information, what people liked, what they didn't like, what is the similarities in book structures, what bonuses and features that the books might have. And then from there, I'm going to get AI, in this case ChatGPT, to build me out a very detailed table of contents that basically finds out exactly what my book needs to have in it, where the other books fell short, and how I can stand out. So this allows me to not only be aligned with the market, so it's what the customer is looking for, but it's going to add what the other books fell short in, and then give me some sort of unique angle in delivering this information. So it's not just simply delivering the information, it's solving the same problem in a more efficient way. This can be, in the case of cookbooks, maybe it's 5 ingredient recipes, maybe it's a time frame for an exercise protocol. There's many different ways to do this, but I usually just let AI do it for me and really just look at my topic and ask myself, what could my unique angle be? And then from there, once I have my table of contents down and my unique mechanism outlined, I'm going to build a very detailed chapter outline using AI, of course, which makes the writing phase way easier. And I basically have a full version of my book just in point form. And this is very important. This research process will allow you to align yourself with the market, create a book that the customer wants, and then find the exact specific way based on data to actually stand out from your competitors. And like I said earlier, in the age of AI, there's so much more competition. This is what's going to allow you to sell. Reviews are, of course, important, but I've seen tons of books that sell super well that are brand new, that don't have a ton of reviews because they have the best book there. And so what happens is the customer searching for the topic decide that they want your book. They want your version of learning this topic. And so the review count doesn't matter. And so make sure you're really focusing on this. You're focusing on the research phase. You're creating a better product. And you're selling that efficiently with your title, your cover, and your product page. And so when it comes to the actual writing phase, this, of course, is one of the most expensive parts of the process if you are creating high content books, or it used to be anyway. And so what I'm doing is, of course, using AI to write books, so it's faster and cheaper than the old methods, and I save time and money. But more importantly, I still want my book to read human and be extremely high quality. And so AI is used to speed up the drafting process, but the quality comes from the strong research and outlining, having a book that is actually going to work well. It comes from having a proper workflow and prompting process, which we're going to get into as well. It comes from some heavy editing. You do want to be going through your AI written book a few times in a very specific way. This allows you to really tighten, condense it, remove redundancies, remove fluff, and just make it sound good. We also want a human-like voice and tone, of course. This is the biggest problem with AI, is it sounds robotic. And we also want to actually speak to the reader. That's another problem with AI written books, is they just relay information and they actually forget to give it a voice, so it sounds like an author speaking to the customer. And more importantly, most publishers never actually read their books. They just write it with AI, go through some prompting process and expect it to be good. So don't forget to read your books as you're writing it. And just ask yourself, is it actually good? And so this is my exact AI writing process. It's extremely effective for creating high quality books. But of course, before you start, you need the right tool to do so. And I've actually been using a tool called Spiral. And so Spiral, in my opinion, is one of the best ways to write books with AI. It has a really good interface to do it, and the product you get and the outputs are a lot better than things like ChatGPT, in my opinion. And it's not some sort of expensive ghostwriting tool. It's, I think, $25 a month, and you just get to create as many books as you like. So you don't have to worry about having limited credits or anything like that. So definitely check it out if you're interested. But basically, once I go into Spiral, I'm going to do my starting prompt, so generate my first chapter based on my topic research and my book outline. And with Spiral specifically, it will actually give you multiple drafts to start. So it's going to give you 3 different versions of chapter 1 then you can pick the one you like the best. So you're already starting with the best possible option before you even go through the prompting process. And then the first thing I'm going to do is remove any AI patterns. These are things like em dashes, redundancies, robotic text, sentences that have lots of periods is very common as well. And then once I do that prompt, I'm going to then read and refine. And as I'm going through my prompting process, I'm constantly reading and making any changes that I see. So I don't just trust the prompting process, I adjust what needs to be adjusted. After the first reading and refining, I'm going to go to an analysis prompt. This is where I basically get Spiral, in this case, to analyze the text, find anything that's off, redundancies, AI or awkward sentences, and let it find what it needs to find. You can also do this in a separate chat like ChatGPT. I'm then going to, of course, read and refine it one more time, read through the text, see how it sounds, update any awkward sentences if I need to. I'm then going to, of course, prompt to get rid of a lot of these awkward sentences. This is one of the main problems I've seen when writing books with AI, is just things sound funny. They don't really make any sense. It's basically AI thinking it's sounding like a human when it doesn't. And then by this point, it should be refined enough that I can move to the editing phase. This is where a bulk of the book comes together. And so I'm personally going to use Grammarly. I think Grammarly works extremely well for editing AI written books, specifically their humanizer tool. What I'm going to do is go through the document with their humanizer tool, see what changes it recommends, make those changes, or if I do find any awkward paragraphs that I don't like, I'm also going to copy those into ChatGPT and see if it can refine it for me. And when you do this for small chunks of text, it can be very effective. And then the last thing I'm going to do is compare the final draft I have after editing to the initial starting prompt. This way you can clearly see how much the text actually improved, and it also allows the AI model you're using to see or have a reference point. So if it has the initial text and the finished product, it can see, okay, this is where it's better, and this is where it still needs to be improved compared to the old version. It's just a great way to kind of do that final polish. And so the takeaway with this is that AI will just create garbage faster if you let it. And so use AI in a slow way, slow down, and actually create a better product than everybody else by going through a more detailed process. And if you do want full training on my entire AI book creation process, right from topic research to writing to design, I do have a new AI book creation accelerator course. I'll leave it linked below. I also give you all the prompts that I use, and it's hosted inside a private community, so you can ask questions and collaborate with others. But of course, I'll also leave some links to some free training as well. So before you pay money for anything, definitely go and check those out too. So when it comes to the design process of book creation, this used to be very tedious and expensive to get right, in my opinion. And so now I'm going to be streamlining a lot of different things, mainly my book covers, my A+ content modules, as well as any images I need inside my book. So like I said, this can be very annoying to get right when you're outsourcing, but now AI makes it super easy to do this. And the main tools I'm using are, of course, ChatGPT. Their image generation model is getting very good, but more importantly, I've also been using a tool called Ideogram. This allows you to pick what size image you want specifically, which really helps for A+ content as well as different size book covers. And I've just found the outputs that you get with Ideogram are super, super good, so it's worth checking out. And I'm also going to use Canva as well to basically convert my A+ content modules and my book covers into publish-ready assets. Sometimes you need specific sizes as well as you need to create the back and spine for your cover specifically, and Canva makes it super easy to do this. But a big takeaway with the design is that strong research and a strong offer is what creates the desire for your book. The cover is just grabbing attention so they see this offer. And so if you don't do the topic research and create a good book, you can't really sell anything. You're going to be grasping at straws to create a good book title. And so make sure you're focusing on that first, and then your cover and your A+ content is simply selling that. And so when it comes to my book launch strategy, there are two main things I'm focusing on. The first one is going to be my product page, really setting it up to convert, especially in the AI landscape. I'm going to be focusing on my unique mechanism, of course, like we talked about, but more importantly, I'm going to be selling it effectively with my description and my A+ content. I'm really going to be showcasing what's inside and the experience they get. I'm going to be using a lot of images in my A+ content module, specifically ones from inside my book. And I'm also going to be focusing on getting higher quality reviews. So I'm going to go back to some of the older strategies that people used to use. I know there's been some issues with reviews lately with some of the review sites and just the overall Amazon quality control. And so like I said, I'm going to be trying some of the classic Facebook review methods, going into groups, running ads for your book. And what I'm also going to be doing is trying to get some photo and video reviews. These can be very effective to sell your book. And when you just have a products page that has all these different things on it, it's going to be very enticing to the customer who's searching and deciding if they should buy your book. I've also, of course, created a good book to give a better reader experience, which is going to set myself up for organic reviews over time, which is one thing that the low quality AI slot books are not going to get, which is also why I'm not worried about the competition, because quality always wins. But the takeaway is that conversion is engineered, and so have the right mechanism, sell it effectively, and there's no reason why somebody wouldn't buy your book. And so what I'm also going to be focusing on during my launch period is, of course, testing. And so it's super easy now to create high quality covers and A+ content modules using AI. So instead of just making one cover and leaving it, I'm going to be testing a few different ones. And so maybe about every week or so during the first month my book is live, I'm going to be changing my covers and my A+ content. This is going to allow me to analyze my ad data, look at my click-through rate, my conversion rate, my ACoS, and really see which one performs the best. You'd be surprised how much different your book can perform with a new cover and A+ content in general. And so I'm going to be experimenting with this because now it's easy to do so. I don't have to outsource and spend a bunch of money to do it. I can just create it myself. And I'm also going to be building a repeatable machine. So the goal is to create the same kind of books repeatedly and get very good at them. And so I'm going to be building some key systems, of course, using the most efficient tools, ideogram, spiral, as well as reusing any frameworks that work super well. So although I do have a very effective writing and research process, things always evolve, things always change. I'm always trying new things. And for certain types of books, different things work better sometimes. And so as I find what works the best, I'm going to continue to use that moving forward. I'm also going to build very clear SOPs around this. So standard operating procedure of what exactly you do, how you do it, what are the prompts, what are the tools. This allows you to have a very clear system to go back to rinse and repeat. And more importantly, if you want to down the line, you can also hire a VA and teach somebody else to do this. So if you have very detailed SOPs with creating high quality books with AI, you record screen share videos of you doing it as well as give them a step-by-step process, it's very easy to train somebody to create books for you. And so that's basically exactly what I'm doing. I'm simply using AI to streamline my process, to save time, to save money, more importantly, without sacrificing quality. I want my books to be the no-brainer option because when you create the best option for the customer, it doesn't matter how many reviews you have because they decide to buy your book because it's the best option. And so don't take the research and the writing phase lightly. Make high-quality books. Find a way to stand out, to be better than the competitors, to offer the same solution, better, faster, easier, and you will get better results. And of course, there has never been more competition with AI. However, it's also a lot easier to stand out because not many people are thinking about this. They're rushing and just creating books fast. So if you focus on the mechanism, you do cover tests to find what works the best, you create more books in different topics, you will find what works, and then you can build systems around what works and rinse and repeat that process. And that's really how people scale to $5, $10, $15, $20,000 a month plus with Amazon KDP. So like I said before, if you do want training on my entire book creation process, as well as all the prompts that I use, I will leave a link below to my AI Book Creation Accelerator course. You also get access to the private community, and I'm going to be sharing a lot of my breakthroughs that I have as I create books in this group. So it allows you to get a bit more than a course. You can ask questions, you can collaborate with others, and we can just learn and find the best way to create books with AI. That's it for this one. Make sure to subscribe for more no-nonsense Amazon KDP advice. We'll see you in the next one.